Hello everyone, welcome to Cake Theories now. We already have like 3 pilots for our series, but we're very excited, we're very awake, very energetic, we're not tired at all. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Yeah, Karina isn't either. We're actually filming on my bed right now because it's the only place with a whiteboard. And you may be asking yourself, why do you need a whiteboard, Kake and Karina? Well, we'll tell you. We're reviewing The Lake House today. And if you haven't seen it,
Yeah, if you haven't seen it,
you should watch it.
go watch it. I mean, it's a good movie overall. But if you don't want to watch it, we'll try to explain it to you guys as much as we can. But I prefer that you guys watch it. Okay. So, The Lake House. It's a love story between 2 people. One is Kate, the other one is Alex. They live in different times. One of them lives in 2006, the other one in 2004. They end up communicating with each other through a mailbox in this lake house. And because they're sending letters, they find out that they're in different years. And so that's pretty much the movie. They are communicating with each other, they're in different years. Yeah.
But there's an issue with it.
Yeah.
Because we find out later on, spoiler alert, Alex died at the beginning of the movie. And at the beginning, as the audience, you don't know it because it's just some random guy that dies. But you later figure out it's Alex who died during Kate's time. And you figure out that Alex was trying to communicate with Kate because they set something up. Oh, and that's ruined.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Come in. All right. We tried to explain this. We failed. But this will be the moment of triumph. It's a very complicated story.
Yeah.
All right. So
Here
I'm
we
going
go.
to draw a timeline.
Yes.
2006. This is the most important time of the story because, first of all, this is where Alex
Fake apology and shove it right up your hairy.
dies. Dead. And this is the start of the story with Kate. Now we're going to do something. We're going to put labels of letters on them. So the Alex that dies, we're going to call Alex A. And then we're going to put Kate together because they're in the same timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a little bit later in the story, Kate A talks to Alex B. Do you want to write? You probably have better handwriting than me.
Alright. Sure.
So Kate, in 2004, talks to Alex B. Oh yeah, that's way better.
Wow.
Put 2004. Okay. So they're talking. This is the whole story right here.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's our communication symbol. All right. So then, a little bit later, they try to set up a date night. Okay. But the problem is that Alex can't show up to the date night because Kate doesn't know that he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dead, that's why he can't show up. Alex B doesn't know that either, obviously, because that's in the future. So they stop talking for a while, but Alex wants to contact Kate again, and eventually he's going to come to the same place where Alex A died, which is crossing the street to talk to Kate.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very end of the story, Kate sends a letter at the lake house telling Alex not to cross the street. That saves Alex B.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, my head will cover it later, but it's fine. So now the conundrum, the issue with this whole story is that if Alex A was already dead, who is showing up at the end? Because we notice when she figures out that Alex is dead, her brother is the one that tells her that Alex is dead. So then who in the world is showing up?
Yeah, because when she sends the letter, all of a sudden, she's like crying right next to the mailbox, and all of a sudden you see him like walking. So obviously it's not Alex B because he's barely in 2006. At this point, they're in 2008. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some might say, well, because Alex B just over time finally caught up to her. But the problem is that Alex is already dead. The only reason that theory makes sense where she changed the past is if all of this just didn't happen and Kate is the only one who wasn't affected by the past change.
Yeah.
Because if none of this didn't happen, then he would have shown up at the date night. But he still didn't show up at the date night because he showed up here later. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, another issue that we're presented with is Kate B, that's in the same timeline as Alex. And we even see, because they have a couple of interactions with each other.
Yeah.
So then someone might be saying, oh, well, for example, who planted the tree for Kate A? Or who put the book in the floor panel for Kate A? Well, that was Alex A. But the problem was that Kate, ahead, didn't tell this Alex. She didn't know. Well, how can that be possible if this Kate knew? Well, that's the thing is, now Kate A saved Alex B.
Mm-hmm.
So now Kate B...
So Kate B, when she gets to this point, she won't witness a death because this Alex got saved. She saved him. So when they're in this point, she doesn't witness a death. Okay? And let's just say that we're gonna be going to the same, like, story.
Actually, draw another line up here.
Okay. For what?
So...
Ooh, that's ugly. Whatever.
Now let's look at the same exact timeline,
But with the bees.
With the bees.
Okay, here we go. 2006. Right?
Yeah.
So
So
there's Alex
alive.
B. That's alive. I can't write like this. Sorry for my writing. Okay. And there's Kate.
B. Who never witnessed
who
a
didn't
death.
witness a death.
Okay.
Okay.
So Kate B starts talking to an Alex C.
Uh-huh.
But the problem is that Kate never witnesses Alex C's death. I mean, Alex B's death, so she can never warn Alex C to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's say for the date night, for example. We'll put date night for them. So the question now is,
Sorry.
will Alex show up to the date night? Because he still has the letter from when he made the commitment to
But you gotta
Kate
remember that this Alex was communicating with Kate A. So he's probably not even worried about this.
That's
Kate.
true. Because
He's trying to wait 2 years to get to this point.
yeah, because Kate A told Alex B to wait 2 years. So he's still not going to show up to the date night. So then Kate B is still going to be confused why Alex didn't show up to the date night.
Mm-hmm.
But because Kate B can't remind Alex about the car death, Alex C is going to die.
When he gets to this point, he's gonna cross the street and die. And it'll repeat itself. It'll be exactly how the movie started at this point.
Yes. And so that's kind of a solution to what's going on here. But it just doesn't answer the question.
Okay, this makes sense, right? It's just looping. Like, it's gonna be looping the whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're only focused on 2 in the beginning of the movie, and that's the only people we're gonna be focusing on throughout the movie. But it loops.
Yeah.
But the problem is, we want to know who this guy
who
is.
shows up
Who
at the end of the
shows
movie.
up?
It doesn't make any sense.
So, to explain the loophole, when Alex lives, when Alex dies, when Alex lives, when Alex dies. One Kate witnesses the death, gets to save an Alex, one doesn't doesn't get to save him. And then that's how it goes.
But the problem with each time that an Alex dies, there's a Kate that saves him. And every time he saves him,
There's an Alex that
there's
appears.
an Alex that appears at the end of the movie. So if he's still not showing up to the date night, who's showing up at the end of the movie? That's the question. There's this missing piece right here at the end of the movie. There's no sense there. It doesn't make any sense. So obviously, the only explanation that we came up with is
if Alex A resurrects from the dead. Because Alex B is not the one that showed up. It's Alex A. Because Alex B is still waiting 2 years to get to that point.
because remember, on the timeline of Kate A, Alex A is dead.
And Alex B is still 2 years
Alex
behind.
B never crossed the street. Alex B never crossed the street. But in the timeline of Kate A, and Alex did cross the street, and he did die. So the only way for the end to make sense is for Alex A to resurrect or spontaneously configure himself from the universe. This is the only explanation for the end of the lake house. This is the only logical explanation.
I don't know why I'm like this.
And thank you, physics. The only person who really knows is the dog.
Because throughout the movie, the dog
Is setting them up.
is setting them up. Even in the past, he knows who Kate is.
Exactly.
So how does he know both sides at the same time?
And he responds to a name that they both referred to him, and I don't remember what the name
It was Jack.
Jack. Jack.
It's a girl, actually, but
Oh, that was
what
a
are you doing?
Backwards J. Jack. Alright, so Jack.
Jack was the name that supposedly Kate gave the dog.
But he
But
responded.
But in the past, she says this in the letter, Alex calls the dog Jack and he responds.
Mhm.
So how does he know both sides at the same time?
So he's the only connecting part. He's the omnipotent being. Dog is God. I think they did that for a reason. I think they made the dog the omnipotent connecting piece because dog spelled backwards is God. And that is... He's the only one with the real answers. Maybe he'll be able to explain, but I can't ask him because he's a fictional character in a movie. But... So Jack is the only omnipotent being who really knows what's going on. Unfortunately, he never thought it kind enough to tell us what was going on. So we have to figure it out. But really, this right here, I feel like fixes the entire issue.
Yes.
Subscribe for more videos. If you have more suggestions,
yeah.
more conundrums, we'll figure it out for you.
Keep giving us
Suggestions.
suggestions to do some videos.
Thank you. Namaste. Amen. Goodbye. See you later.
My legs are asleep. Ugh.